In Creo Parametric, you can define the bend order for a sheet metal part and then show that information on a drawing. And although I'm going to show you how to do this, this is something I recommend that you don't do. And I'll talk at the end about why I recommend you should not do this. To define your bend order, you go to the bends dropdown and then you can choose bend order. You'll get a dialog box that'll come up. Right now it's in the process of flattening the part as well. So that's why there's a little bit of a delay going on here. And so I've got the part flattened out. Here in the dialog box, you're going to define your different sequences, and a sequence can contain more than one bend in it. So here I've got the part and I decide, you know what, for the first bend, I want it to be this one over here. And so now it's thinking, it says, okay, if I bend that, this is what you are going to end up with. And I like that for the first sequence, that'll be the only bend in it. And then for the next sequence, maybe I decide that I want the two side tabs. So I can select this one over here and then this one over here. And again, the preview updates to show the results of that. By the way, if we take a look in here, the information that's included is the bend direction, the bend angle, the inside bend radius, and also the bend length. So now that we've got those two bends in this sequence, we can add in another sequence. And I can say, hey, for the next sequence, I want it to be this one. And again, it bends it. And I can continue on with this process. Let's add in another sequence. And I'll have this one, as well as this one. And let's again do another sequence. And as I'm putting this together, I just want to point out to you that, maybe I'm getting this in the wrong order. I am not a professional at making sheet metal parts in the real world. So again, that's another big reason why probably you shouldn't be doing this unless you're the actual person bending the sheet metal. And for the last one, let's select these couple ones over here. There we go. Now we've got it in the final form, and I can click the OK button. So I've got my bend order defined. If you want to see that again, you can go to the Bend Overflow menu and choose Bend Order. Also, if you go to your model properties, which I have added to my quick access toolbar, here in the sheet metal section, we have bend order. And if you click the change button, it'll open up the dialog box with your various different sequences listed inside of it. So there we have it. Let's cancel out of here because I'm not actually going to make any changes to that. Let's make a drawing and show how to display the bend order on it. I'm going to go to the new button and choose to create a drawing, and I'll just call this my bend order. Let's turn off the option to use the default template. I'm just going to use my standard drawing format. Let's use sheet 1 of it and fill in my name for the drawn by parameter. And I'm just going to hit enter for the other different format parameters that it wants to fill in. I'm going to right click and then choose to create a general view. I'm not going to use a combination state. Let's use the front view and click OK. And then I'm going to select the view and make a couple of projection views on here. And let me just reposition them on here a little bit, not too much. All right, so I've got 3 different drawing views located on here. To get the bend order table to display, the weird thing is you would think that you would go to the table tab to do it, but you actually do it from the annotate tab and you choose show model annotations. Then you'll go to the note tab, and the easiest way I find to get it to display is to click on the name of the model in the model tree, and you can see it previews a whole bunch of different notes on here. Let's select the appropriate note, and it will be selected in here. I will click the OK button, and and then I can select it and move it and drag it, and that way we have the bend order table displayed on the drawing. So again, you can define the bend order. You can then show it on your drawing. However, I've taught sheet metal many times over the years, and very often I'll get someone in the class who actually does the sheet metal bending. They work in a sheet metal factory, and they say that they hate seeing bend order tables coming from someone who might be just a few years out of college. They've never actually made a sheet metal part in the real world. How are they going to tell someone who has been bending sheet metal for 30 years what order to do it in? So just like with calculating the developed lengths, hey, leave that to the experts, leave that to the professionals. So even though you can define the bend order and then show it on the drawing, if you're not doing that, leave it to the experts. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more information, please visit www.creowindchill.com. If you learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be informed when new videos are uploaded. Thank you very much.